Hey guys, how you doing? How you doing, Richard? Hopefully you can hear me okay. Can you just let me know? Yeah, still getting over my trip. So my friends flew back to the UK this morning, so I've just been trying to catch up with everything after having a week off. We're all good. Okay, so we're gonna do half and half like I did last week. We are, and it's being recorded, so it'll go out anyway. So I'm gonna do first half stocks predator, do some scanning, look at some trades, do some technical analysis, and then we're going to look at some confluence strategies. If we got time, have a look at the VWAP Predator Gold ASB as well. So let's go on and get some. So end of day scanner. So we're going to look at some confluences, three green at the moment, see what's there. I'm going to filter down a little bit more and probably go beta above one. So that gets the list down to 12. And that's the important thing here is we don't want a massive long list. We need a beta over one. So this is outperforming the S&P in simple terms. We've got full confluence, so we can have a look through here. Anything with a big short float, probably not interesting. So like Gevo, for example, 16.48%, CNK 5.88%. These things they are a lot. But it's, there could be a short-term swing, but not really sort of interesting for me. So EME, we have we've got big resistance up here with this fifth wave target zone fairly away. So I'm not going to be looking at that one. Let's have a look at this German stock. Could be room there. I mean, the wave four failed anyway, but we've got a target up there. We've got the 6 star by the roller coaster here, all six time frames green. So that would be a good potential German stock there. We do a little bit of work on this one, I think. It's just an example. I'm not saying everybody should trade German stocks. They are good movers. But we're going to go to the weekly first and have a look where we are with this particular high here. So let's just go big on here. I like, yeah, it's a big fat zone, but you know what? It gives us a target. So we're going to go here down to here. Okay, that's a weekly zone there. We've got a strong zone here with these two pivots as well, and we pick up this low pivot in here. I think this is a really sensible sort of weekly zone as well that we've just bounced off as well. So there's a lot of confluence there. You see this pivot here. This pivot's in the zone. Big pivot underneath here, here. That's a really good weekly zone, and we've just come and bounced off that. So what we've got to do now is look, is there room? So the wave four did fail. In fact, it did find support in that weekly zone, but it failed on the pullback zone. It's not to say this fifth wave zone won't be hit. It's just that we wouldn't trade this as an Elliott wave move. All it does is gives us an idea of how that trend is behaving and where we are in that trend. And it makes sense to me that this weekly zone did hold as support. Now we've got potential confluence trade to go long at this point. So let's just zoom in on this. So we can only trade between these zones, really. And if we've got enough risk reward, we're good to go. Measure that risk reward with a trend-based fib extension. So the stop for this order, really, for the roller coaster here is here, but we need to put it underneath the weekly. Our entry would be above the high of today, and we are risk reward 1 to 1.6 into that next zone. So target will be 2.8. So again, stop under here. So what I'm doing now is the same for any stock, no matter which country it's in. And again, I will always say this, guys, don't just look at US stocks, look at stocks from around the world. If you've got an interactive broker account, something like that, you'll be able to trade those stocks in and around the world, and because you're just using them to make money, okay? And that's all it is, yeah. So you're using these to make money, and this is a German stock. We've had a really great pullback, understanding those weekly zones. We've It's come up on the confluence scanner now. We've got all three out of three green. It's a good trade. We need to do our work with those weekly zones, go back to the daily, look where we're going to put the stop, look where we're going to put the entry, and 2.8 is our target at the bottom end of that weekly zone. It could go on and hit that fifth wave target zone, absolutely, but we can understand this wave three pivot is the bottom end of that weekly zone. So there's enough room, good looking trade. So that, that's good. Let's have a look at Joby. Not a great deal of room up above there. Just going to go to the weekly and see where we are with that high, recent high. I think it might be all-time highs, actually. Yeah, it is. Okay. So on the weekly, we have had a wave four pullback and we're on a fifth wave move. Now, this didn't behave well because the stochastic didn't cross over in the oversold zone, and we didn't get a good crowning on the wave four pullback on the oscillator there. So it could be that will be a complex wave four and come back again. So we wouldn't be trading that off the weekly, but we can see this target zone here. I want to draw this in level with that fifth wave target zone on here. I'm just going to change that to blue, the same as the target zone, purely because when I go back to the daily now, I can see in reality for a trend on a weekly, that $24 basically in there is where that target would be. As far as weekly support and resistance zones are concerned, let's go big on the chart here. Let's look. I want to look at this pivot here. Yeah. Okay, so we're there. Let's just change back to pink. I just want to look left on here. Okay. Good zone. It's okay. It's got a few touches there. Recent touch was a confluence between the wave four pullback into this amber zone and this weekly zone. That's good. So let's go to the daily. So this is our target from the weekly. We are, in theory, if we went along here, we've got to measure it. Again, our stop would be underneath. We can go aggressive underneath this pivot, but let's be sensible. Should be there. Should be there. That's 1-to-1. For me, no good. Walk away. Yeah. Don't try and make a trade out of something. Have a rule. We try. We filter. We scan over 5,100 stocks. There will be stocks available to trade each week, not necessarily every single day. And you need a set of rules to make sure that you walk away from 80% of them. Okay. Don't get invested in trying to make something that's not there. This is early on with a 4-star buy on MYR Group. We got a nice, it's a very complex wave four pullback. I'd have to measure this actually, but I think it did behave pretty well. So measuring an Elliott wave. So we got a lot of confluence here. It's a bit scrappy. Not every stock chart is pretty. Sometimes the ugly ones work very well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use a fib. I'm going to put that fib retracement. I'm going to put that on the 0 line. I'm going all the way to the highest point on the wave three on the oscillator. And I'm just going to take a load of them off. So I want a 0.9. I want a 1.4. And I want all the rest clearing out. So the wave 4 pullback on the oscillator did behave. We got the false breakouts on the top on the stochastic, denoting a really strong bullish trend. We didn't get them on the bottom. It's been a very complex wave 4. It's not pretty, but it's okay. We've got to look at these zones here as a daily sort of resistance at that top there and that bottom there, and we put that in gray. Okay. So we've got a start line. It's got to be above there. Okay. And our target is here. I just want to go to the weekly. Again, on the weekly, we've had this wave 4 pullback, which makes sense. Just going to see if we have got a big pivot on the weekly there. I think this really is a weekly zone. This top pivot here and this top pivot here. Take that through and see where the wave 4 held that pivot. Okay. We're not trying to, we're not trying to make up confluences here. We're just joining dots. Okay. High pivot, rejection. High pivot, rejection. Join those two dots together. You've got a zone. Look right. What happens? The wave 4 pivot, find support in there, starts to move away. Okay. So that's where we are on the weekly. Let's go back to the daily. So now we've got to consider that the xBrat algo is a confluence strategy on its own. It looks at 12 points of control. There are only 10 out of 12 points of control for a 4-star buy signal. So there's still a few confluences that are coming in. Imagine a river that's just meandering along nice and slowly, and then you've got 10 tributaries coming in quite quickly. So that momentum, that directional flow is increasing. But we're looking for 12. We're looking for a 5 or a 6-star buy. So this is, although it's a confluence signal, it's not weak, but it ain't strong. So we need a 5 or a 6-star buy. So this just goes on the watch list to see if we can get that continuation. And we would look for an entry at that point here. Stop. Again, you would look below this weekly zone. Turn that to red. And then we would, it's just you just do the same process every time. That's what an algorithm does anyway. Okay. That's close. Yeah, it's 1 to 1.3 into that wave 5. I probably give this optionable. No, it's a shame that. This could be good if we get a 5 or a 6-star buy and we break through this sort of zone. For those that have got the stocks predator, we found the issue with the email for the dynamic watch list and to alert you when I add stocks to my watch list. That should be working again now, or on the next email run. So that will be working again now. Something that Google changed, Gmail. So that's good. That's a good stock. So what I'm going to do is, for now, I'm just going to add that to Paul's main watch list. We could not add symbols. Something went wrong. Oh dear, what's going off here? Oh, let me just, that's MYRG. Let me just refresh this because I had it on and not refreshed for a couple of days. And we did some updates. So let's go to end of day scanner, full confluence green, beta above 1, MYRG. Yeah, it didn't save my drawing. So what I'm going to do is just add that to my watch list and I'll do some work on it another time. Okay, that's added now. I forgot I honestly forgot that we'd done some updates. So MPO is the next one. So have a look at that, and then we'll look at some potential. And then they've got another 4-star, and you've got a lot of resistance there. So I'm not really interested in that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take all those filters off. I'm going to look for an Elliott wave 4. I'm going to look for a bull, and I'm going to look for a wave 4 that has come out in the last 5. So we've got 88. Wow. Okay. Let's go beta above 0.5 to begin with. Earnings quite a way away. We know good. So 88, 29th. Let's start at the top of the list. Okay, so that's a wave 4. Still some work to do. We can see the stochastic at the bottom's not crossed over in the oversold zone, even though the wave 4's come relatively deep. So I'm not interested in that one. I'm just looking for really good behavior. AKBA, no, that's no good. That's got a massive short float there, not interested. ARMK. It's gone too deep. I tell you what we'll do though, let's filter out optionable, see if we can break that down a bit. Yeah, we're down to 15 now. That's quite a few candles ago. Yeah, that's already been and gone. Galaxy Digital, been and gone. Ooh. Okay, so for those users with the premium package, if you got this, if it comes on the scan, remember just scrunch down on the bottom so it can count. Sometimes if you get a gap like that it's not, it just needs to do the wave count. Interesting, this one with the gap up on earnings, come back for a wave 4 pullback. One rule for me is 7 days. This is a daily chart, 7 days minimum on a wave 4 pullback. Perfect is between 7 and 10 days. This has only been a few days and it's not really tradable. MDB, no. NDAQ, it's too complex a wave 4. I'm just looking for near perfection. And if I don't find them today, I don't put a trade on. It's as simple as that. It's quite deep, that one. What does it look like on the weekly? No, it's a second wave. Okay, no good. Let's take that optionable off. And let's go beta above 1. See if anything jumps out at me. Let's go to the next page. No. It's got a lot of short flow there. Doesn't look too bad. Okay, let's do a bit of work on it. First thing we always do is go to the weekly, see where our zones are. Big pivot here. Let's look left. Oh, these big low pivots here as well. So that is a zone for me. These low pivots here, you might not see too clearly, but then those ones there, that's a really strong zone. Got a high pivot here. I just need to zoom in a bit there. High pivot, low pivot. This is where the price is currently as well. I think this is a very important zone here. Just need to move that to the right now. This pivot on the left as well. Whoops. and the recent highs there. Okay, let's go to daily. Let's measure this oscillator on the way for pullback. Zero 0.9, 1.4. Get rid of the rest. There's just one sweet spot that we're looking for, and it's in it. We've got false breakout on the tops, crossed over in the oversold zone, no false breakout on the bottom. Looks reasonably good. Complex correction on the way forward, that's fine. It's found support in the green zone. So there's 85% probability it's going to go on and hit that fifth wave target zone. Top end of this weekly zone's $46. Just that fifth wave target zone's in there. Entry's a little bit more difficult with this one because we've got this complex correction. We bounced off this weekly, came up, came back down, sort of test the weekly. We're trying to push through what we're doing live right now. Oh, it's pushed down to 31.56. 31.56. This isn't going to be no bueno. So it's going to be coming down to this. So we had a big move down. It's probably going to test this zone. So if we go to the weekly again, yeah. So we're going to see a test of this zone. So it probably the work's still there. The work's still on the chart. But for me now, I'd like to see this. It'll probably come down and test this $30 sort of zone around there and probably look for a move up. But I'd probably look for a confluence scanner for that. So I will just wait to see if that comes up. The work's on the chart already, so if it comes up on the confluence scanner, we can have a look. Kim, that's deep. That's very deep. No, that's no good. BAP, Peru. Wow. That's too shallow. I've got enough. Another German stock there. Oh, that's not bad. What's that? FMCC. It's not come down enough for the oscillator and the stochastic. So no trade at the moment. What's it doing live right now? Did gap ups coming back down. Okay, not good enough at the moment. Let's just go. I found one potential, put it on my watch list. Don't see anything else that's going to rip today. So what I'm going to do is going to go to my main watch list. In fact, before I do that, let's go to the swing trades. And I do when I make a call. I know Richard, you're in the user group as well. They usually come off. Okay, I think I've got 100% win rate over the last 3 or 4 months. So this was a call on. So on the Discord group, we've got a closed channel for our users where people share, and this was GE on here. GE on here was a for me, I came across it in July. We had full confluence from the confluence scanner, but it was also at the same time as earnings as well. Major sort of resistance up above were at all-time highs. There's no reason why you can't trade all-time highs. And then Mal put an options play together for it. And then obviously I was updating that and it did hit the target that I put together. So if I just go down on that again. So if we just go big on this chart a second, just explain how I did that. Let's move my ugly mug. Okay, so We had full confluence coming through this daily zone here. We needed to wait for earnings, which was the following day. We had an earnings reaction. Wasn't fantastic, but this is where we got in the trade here. Pull back down to test that daily zone again, and then it's just been a slow boat to China, but it worked. This was my zone, if you like, where I put the fib extensions um, for my sort of new all-time highs, if you like, especially as we had a really good confluence trade earlier on with this move up here. Again, we had full confluence. It was a great move, and then obviously started to form and confirm this week this daily zone here, and then we pushed through. Yeah, it's a lovely trade, Richard. I think you just got to be patient with these because it doesn't matter if you get a good earnings. If a stock's at all-time highs, there's just time for the market and traders to react. It doesn't sort of snap straight away. But this was a great trade. It's hit the target and we got out. It's done what it's supposed to do. Um, and then if I go to my main watch list at the moment, SII again, it's another one. I need to update the the channel and also my so with the journal here. This was the original journal I put together, shared that in the group, and this was the entry at this point here. So this is pretty good. So although we had the false breakout stochastic on the bottom here, the wave 4 did hold in the red zone. It failed a fifth wave move, but then we got a confluence trade. So it's still within the trend. It broke our rules for a fifth wave move, but there's no reason why we can't trade it if we get the full confluence coming on the scanner. Roller coaster, xBrat algo, all 6 timeframes green. Got to go long, and then obviously 69.61 was the entry. Stop below the recent wave 4 pivot. Risk reward of 1 to 1.6 to the fifth wave target zone. And we're getting pretty close now. This was the sort of area, this is 1 to 1.6 into that fifth wave target zone. But now we can see the roller coaster trailing stop at this point here. So this is where we make this swing trade risk-free by placing the stop above the entry and following that until we hit the fifth wave target zone. So that's, for me to update here would be something like this. So if I go to the journal, I want to add a new journal. I want to take a chart image of what I've done on there right now. It'll take the chart image moved trailing stop in line with roller coaster trailing stop position, looking to take profit at fifth wave target zone as in original plan. Okay, let's do that. Let's take a screenshot of that. Let's close that. I'm just showing you what I do. It's not difficult. Then I go to SII. Oops. Down there. There it is. And then I'll put that screenshot in there. Oops, no, that's the Zoom link. Let's copy that. Right. Journal now risk free. Okay. So all the guys that are in here that are users will obviously get updated for all the trades that I'm in as well. And there's others that, for example, I think on coin, I put the trade together, and then Mel's come in he's not only put the options trade together, he's actually put his all the option, everything to do with the trade together. If I open that now, this is everything that he's put together: confluence strategy, technical analysis, market environment, options and gamma exposure, trade execution, post-trade review. He hasn't done that yet, obviously, because it's still on. But again, so Mel's one of the users, and he regularly sort of chirps in with any ideas that I've got and put options plays together, which are really, really cool. I think MP is another one that I've put in there as well. This is looking pretty good right now as well. So this was just a traditional fifth wave move. Okay. We had the wave 4 pull back. We got an entry at this point, and this is where we are right now. And you know, this is looking reasonably good right now. We need some more momentum to get up there. I had an indecision doji yesterday, but it's good. I'm not going to go risk-free yet. I just want to see what happens at this sort of price now, what we're doing live at the moment. Yeah, we're on a negative day in the markets right now, so nothing to worry about there. Bats London, London stock. Again, we're still looking for a trade on this. We're just about to break the rules on the oscillator there. So if it breaks down below this daily zone on this wave 4 pullback, I'll just take it off my watch list. It's failed. I don't mind complex corrections on an Elliott wave, but it needs to hold. I need to have a confluence somewhere, and that needs to be that daily zone. That needs to hold. Oscillator needs to turn back up and crown. Stochastic needs to cross over in the oversold zone. That looking good. And then we can look for an entry. Right now, it's very, very close to being taken off the board. Right. Any questions on Stocks Predator before I move on to confluence strategy? Just have some water. It's been a long day. Okay. Let's just bring that across. Get rid of that. Oh, there we are. Okay, so futures confluence strategy. I've been sharing the combinations for those for oil, ES, and whatever on the chat on the Discord. And I wanted to go through. So I know some of you traded this oil short the other day, and I know some of you traded the ES long that I'm going through in a minute. Now I am going to make an educational video about this. I just want to go through some important points, because a confluence strategy looks for runners, and it's great having a target of 40 ticks or 50 ticks or something like that, but you're leaving a lot of profit on the table. You need to trust in the software. You need to trust the manager to do that. So again, with this confluence, it came in over time. We had the red dotted is the anchor strategy, which is a roller coaster. Then we got the xBrat algo come in on the 6-star sell at this point, and then the yellow is the VWAP predator signal, and then finally we crossed the start line for the roller coaster and we're in the trade. Okay, so the green line here is our entry. So having a target of 40 ticks, you're leaving a lot on the table here. So the trailing stop here is your conservative trailing stop for the trade. Okay, now the manager, which is part of the confluence bundle, should not be ignored. You need to have it on your anchor strategy. Remember, when you've got dots up above, this is higher than average volume. Okay, so take note. When you get a rejection of the lows on a short, okay, rejection of the lows with higher than average volume greater than 50%, there's the 50% line, get out. Okay, this trade, if you'd have followed that rule, that's the close of that candle, was 52 ticks. Okay, now if you'd have missed that and it continued to go on, there was another sign there, indecision doji with higher than average volume, and there was another one here with a rejection of just over 50% on there. Even this indecision doji with a higher than average volume, the manager is telling you this thing's going to turn around, okay? And that's what it's there for. Very, very important. Yes, having a target 40 ticks, brilliant, but you've left 12 ticks. 12 ticks doesn't sound like it's $120 per contract, but if you're trading 10 contracts or more like I do, that's a lot of bloody money. You've got to make sure you utilize the tools to the maximum effect. We're spending all the time looking for the confluence. So the directional flow momentum is gathering and we go. You've then got to trust in the manager to spot the behavior and follow those simple rules. Now, ES, different color chart, was the same thing on this long. Okay. I just want to go big on here a second. Now, so Mal traded this, made 500 something dollars or whatever it was. But there is a lot more left in this trade. Now, again, we had the full confluence. This time the VWAP came before the xBrat algo, and the cross of the start line was last. Take it from me, it was a good trade. All the confluences came in. We did have one rejection of the high. So long we're having rejection of the highs, short we're having rejection of the lows. But that was dead on 50%. It wasn't more than 50%. That is my line in the sand. Don't take the trade out. Simple as that. This one wasn't even 50%. Then we go lower than average volume, all the way up, just meanders on up. We do get then an indecision doji, okay, on higher than average volume. And then the very next candle, it takes out the trailing stop. This trade, okay, this week was 151 ticks, okay, 151 ticks. What does that in real money? What does that mean? 151 ticks. So 151 times 1250, 1,887 compared to $540. Okay. So it's very, very important to understand how to manage these trades. The confluence will come. You may only get on ES 3 trades a month, on oil 3 trades a month, on gold at the moment probably getting more like 5 or 6 trades a month. Wait for the confluence. If you've waited and been patient for the confluence to happen, you're in a trade, don't get out too early. Rely on the manager. If the manager retraces more than 50% on higher than average volume against the direction you're trading, get out. If it doesn't, stay in and use the trailing stop. Okay. So this current combination is 12 minutes on the roller coaster, Heikin-Ashi, 13 minutes Heikin-Ashi on the xBrat algo. We're 2 minutes. That should be, why is that changed? 2 minutes standard on the VWAP Predator, 5 minutes on here. Okay. The gold one hasn't changed for 3 months, by the way. So then this one is 15, 15, 5 and 5. It hasn't changed for 3 months. MES will be the same with the, we haven't actually done MES. So, but oil is 18 minutes Heikin-Ashi on the roller coaster, 12 minutes Heikin-Ashi on the xBrat algo, and 8 on here. Should be normal. Been playing with this today. No problem, Phil. But again, we're still in testing with the AI that produces these. So, you still got to do your own due diligence and back testing. Very, very important here. Because we, for example, we're in a short trade in Australian dollar, US dollar on the app here. Okay. I don't think the data is working on that right now. So this is adjusted to stop. So this is the actual trade, what it looks like on a chart for the confluence trade here. But we've done the work on the forex and the crypto. We've got an extremely good win rate. but now the work on the futures is taking place. So again, out of 20 instruments at the moment, there's only two trades. There's a long on IP USD, which is flat, I think, yeah. And Australian dollar, US dollar short is in great profit, and it's locking in that profit. Now, again, when we're going short here, at the moment, obviously, I'm not managing this. It's the app that's doing that. If you do get a rejection of the lows on higher than average volume, it's not bad idea to get out on those as well. But right now, this is still running on there on the app, as it were. Okay. So app's working very, very well, and we will be adding futures for launch as well if we can get the data done properly. So let's just do that down. We've got 20 minutes left yet. Okay, that's good. So confluence on futures is very, very strong. We just need to be patient and wait. Now, a confluence strategy that uses technology allows you to trade more than one different instrument. So for years and years and years, I just traded the one instrument and then maybe did into two. But now with more technology available, being able to put these confluence together, send alerts, and all that sort of stuff, you can now start to spread the risk, spread the love between lots of different instruments, and that's the power of technology. And it's only over the last few years we've been able to do that, been able to consolidate those confluences and look for those trades. We're still obviously working on the machine learning for futures because it's a little different. So for example, here you get a long signal. Okay, let's just draw that on. If you were to just follow one particular indicator, in this case, the roller coaster. Okay, let's just sync that in layout. Okay, if you were to just follow one indicator, you'd have got in that one and it would have been a loser. There was no confluence back up with the xBrat algo here. Okay, so there's no light lighting up, so there's no trade. It's about everything all lining up to give you the trade. So there was no trade on YM today. MNQ, was there a trade on MNQ today? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this. So we put the vertical line in on the roller coaster. I'm going to sync in layout. Very next candle, we get a 5-star sell. So we're only after 5 or 6 stars. Okay, let's put that in. Okay, so then we are looking for momentum. Yeah, so momentum comes from our VWAP predator. VWAP predator comes in at this time. 5 out of 6 bias depth heat map. We are good to go. Okay, so our entry is when the VWAP predator sells, basically prints the signals when that candle closes. So our entry here is at this point. Let's turn that black so we can see it, and that's sync in layout. Okay, so a little later on, and this is why we're still doing work on here, because what we're trying to do is get in earlier, try and spot this momentum earlier, which is very difficult when it's going sideways like this. So sometimes you'll with confluence, you'll get that initial surge, and you'll get that there's confluences coming in and that directional flow increasing, but then it'll go flat for a while, and then all of a sudden you'll get another tributary feeding it in, and then it, and a lot of the time it's the VWAP predator identifying that momentum, and then it goes. Okay, so it's still in profit. Okay, don't get me wrong. This NQ is exactly the same. This is still in profit right now. This was our entry. It was slightly late, but there was no momentum there. We had to wait. Those are the rules. Because if you try and get in too early here, momentum never comes, and you get the pre-market session, you get loads of um, earnings coming in and it turns around and goes up north, you are in a losing position. Got to be waiting, got to be patient. This trade right now is sitting at 643 ticks profit. Okay. It's about being patient. It's about waiting. This is a really nice trade. Uh, this on NQ on a full contract, that makes your month. Okay. We're locking in profit right now. We've had no rejections over 50%. So what we're doing at the moment is locking in around about 234 ticks. Okay, not bad. It's not bad at all. We could be a little more aggressive on that if we wanted to be. One of the things we could do with the manager day trading moderate right now, we can see this has been a quite parabolic move. We can go aggressive on that. Okay, so now we can see that that's changed. If that goes and turns green, we can get out. Right now, that's a good looking trade. Let's have a look on NQ. So we've done 14, 12, 3 and 5. There we go. There it is on NQ. Okay. Exactly the same. There'd be slightly different candles because of the volume with this, but it's the same profile trade, and it's a good trade. So that works out well. Again, this is in testing. I'm not. You can take a screenshot of these time frames, but it's still in testing right now for NQ and MNQ. But that is a good trade. A couple of contracts on MNQ for this trade right now would be sitting you around $1,500 profit on a micro. Okay. And this is the power of confluence. Wait, when was the last trade for this particular setup? And there's a little one there. Well, the last trade was 16th of September by the looks of it. Okay. So, and what are we now? We're on the 24th. But it doesn't matter. I mean, this one, if it was a trade, was 236 ticks. Okay. So a couple of contracts on that's $500. We've got a couple of contracts on the one right now. It's $1,500. We're at $2,000 on a micro just for two trades. There's been no other trades. It doesn't matter because we're being patient and waiting for the right confluence setup, trading it using the manager to manage the trade. So again, it's not about overtrade. It's not about trading every single day. It's about trading the confluences. And this is such a powerful strategy if you can be patient. Being patient since the 16th to the 24th can be, it's not a great deal, but there's been a great oil trade this week already. There's been a great ES trade this week. There was a small gold trade today. This particular long trade, I know Richard, you were in this long trade. Didn't make a great deal of money. It didn't run, but it was fine. It was $300. This short trade, was there a trade? Don't know. I've been away in the office all day, so let me just do the work here. We've got 5-star sell. Syncing layout. Where are we? Oh, there's no bias depth heat map. So there was no trade there today. No short trade there. Okay. Because the bias depth heat map needs to be 5 out of 6. No, and again, you've got to be a robot. You've got to be an algorithm. If you don't get the confluence, you don't take the trade. It's about filtering out the noise and only trading for confluence. Okay, so a kayaker will look for rapids to get him down really quickly. He won't be going on a lazy river. You need the bits with increased directional flow, and there's too much risk with this to actually try and trade that. So again, so we have an AI black box that we use for the app, for the forex and for the crypto, and that's that's gone through machine learning. That's working very, very well, even though we're doing some more updates on it this week. Constantly evolving, but now that's going through machine learning for the next month with futures as well, because we're hoping to launch the confluence signals on the app for when we launch beginning of next year. We should be doing it, but we'll see. I'm not going to do it unless I feel confident that the black box can keep us in the right combinations, and those combinations aren't changed on a weekly basis. This gold one, for example, has been going now for 3 months because we did it at the beginning of the summer. These are the trades here. Look, this is me just literally putting the trades on the chart as they've happened. And it just goes back. I mean, this was a huge trade back at the beginning of September, bit late in, and again we did some work on that to try and do that. 317 ticks, guys. But again, using the same methodology, we had a retracement more than 50% with higher than average volume. You get out there instead of there. That makes a massive difference. Again, another 343 ticks on this trade. We're going into August now. 137 ticks on this trade. This has not changed all summer, and it's still going strong now. We're not getting any losers. And this was so what you have to do with AI, you need to concentrate one specific instrument, and then all the machine learning goes on that behavior, how often those trades occur, and all the other bits and bobs, collecting that data, and then allowing us then to build those combinations and have those combinations. So that's where we are right now with futures. I think we did the hard work with gold. Now it becomes easier with the others, like the oil trade there, and ES, and MNQ's doing. It's not overly trading. Where you're talking probably 4 trades a month at the moment. It's been this particular one all of September, and that's we said we saw one on here on the 16th. Was that a trade on the 4th? Let's have a look. Let's do the work. Again, it's easy just to draw those vertical lines on. So I use green dots for longs, red dots for shorts for the roller coaster. Let's sync in layout, and let's go and find that trade for this particular setup here. Oh, when you spread it out, there's 10 futures assets, 10 forex assets. So, it's a lot. Okay, it's a lot of trades. And to be honest with futures, you'd need quite a bit of capital to get those trades, especially if they came in at the same time. So it's 2 hours. Yeah, no, 90 minutes. 90 minutes on gold. So there we have 5-star buy. Let's sync in layout. And then we'll go to the VWAP. So even though the AI gives us these combinations, I still do the work to check the trades. To be honest, this isn't my dev platform. On the dev platform, I look at all the trades, losers, winners, and everything, because I still need to check AI when we're in this learning phase. And all I do is just draw the lines on and see if the sequence is right. Is it within the right time? Do we need to adjust the times because on the app we can adjust times for every single instrument, and the AI will tell us what those max times are for those time frames. So it's not a set specific time for each instrument. Each instrument's different. And we're getting to it soon. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we got a buy signal at that point there. Change that to yellow dots. Syncing layout. And now, so we've got confluence. So we got anchor strategy, the confluence confirmation strategy. We've got momentum confirmation with the VWAP predator. Did we have the bias depth heat map given us what we needed to do? That so we'll go on there. Moving day tomorrow, by the way, guys. Moving my home office into the office with all the data analysts and whatever for the app. So, because I need to be with them more permanently. So yeah, we're full 6 out of 6 there. So that was a good. That was the entry. So we're just going to go big on here again. Now, just put that entry in there. Syncing layout. Just want to check now. So for the VWAP Predator, we're 1 and 2 on the multipliers. We are getting the AI to check on next week to check on the non-whole numbers because we found with forex and crypto the non-whole numbers allows us on these are the extensions for the VWAP. The VWAP's in the blue. Basically, in on those particular instruments, they get us in early. It didn't do that for us on this particular instrument here with micro NQ. But let's just go now to that particular trade. And so we've had 3 trades in September. Okay, this first trade was indeed 806 ticks. Okay, 806 ticks. Just compute that. Okay. Then we had 236, and right now we're in our 3rd trade of the month, and that's currently sitting at 634. So 836, 634, 1460, 70, 1600, around about 1700 ticks for 3 trades. MNQ and NQ for the confluence strategy in the month of September. 3 trades, 3 winners, 100% win rate. This is the way to look at trading. So if you think about 1700 ticks, 1700 ticks. Let's get that calculator out again. 1,700 ticks for 3 trades. Okay, thanks, Richard. So on a normal NQ contract, that is worth $21,000 for one contract. 1,700 for micro futures. So let's say 3 micros, that's $3, 5 grand for 3 trades. It's not bad for micros. That's the sort of risk you'd be taking there. So again, I can't explain enough, guys. The confluence strategy is very strong. You just need to be patient. So 3 trades on NQ in the whole of September, but that's all you needed on micros to make 5,000. On 4 contracts, over $20,000. Oil, ES, and you start bunching those together, and you're only taking 3, 4 trades a month on each one, you're starting to build up a really nice pot. Okay. But it's about being patient, it's about being present, it's about being there. Okay. This doesn't do it for you. It's about being ready. So this one, this trade today was at 1228. Yeah, 1220. It's UTC. So I don't know what time that is, but anyway, That was just before pre-market, okay, on that Nasdaq. So you need to be up pre-market. It's that's when you've got to be there. Let's have a look at that one that was at the beginning of the month. What time of day that was? Um, so that one was during the regular session, but guess what? You carried it through the close all the way. Okay. So this is a 14-minute candle. Every 14 minutes, the trading stop gets adjusted. Okay. So if you're in a trade that's going to make you thousands and thousands of dollars, you're going to set your alarm for every 13 minutes or every 14 minutes. You're going to see where it goes. You're going to adjust your stop. Okay. It's a job. Trading is a job. Confluence strategy is extremely strong. You build it together. You literally be patient and wait. And if you're in a trade, you don't go to bed. You make the money, and then you crack on the next day. Like I used to say when I was in the army, you can sleep when you die, and it's the same when you're trading. If you're in a trade and it's running, just because it's the end of the session, does my wife's been used to this for nearly 30 years. You don't stop work, okay? You literally continue and you go for the runners because those runners will run. Yeah, not always, but when they do, you need to be there. So right now, there is a trade on, and to be honest, though, the that you should be in that trade right now. Trailing stop is there. It's locking in profit right now. So if you missed a couple of candles and you had dinner, doesn't matter. But come back, make sure you continue to manage that trade. I'm not going to say it's going to continue to go down, but we haven't got a crystal ball, guys. All we can do is follow the rules. And if that comes back up, takes out trading stop, that's fine. If it continues to run after the close of the session, guess what? You're working overtime, but they're working overtime and you're getting paid. Right, guys, I've done an hour. And so it's 9 p.m. here in Dubai. So I'm going to finish for the day. Any questions on what we've covered today? Stocks Predator and also the confluence strategy. The recording will be up tomorrow before I break my desk down and move it to the office. Cheers, Richard. Thank you. Thanks for turning up, guys.